The first one is the most important one, and that is that could heads of delegations please contact Mary Ellen in the Ayala office at room 172 as soon as possible. Issues of great importance. Also, can speakers check your presentations with the AV team in the speaker preparation room at 173, even if you already emailed it to Ayala, just to check it through. And could you all note that coffee and tea at each break will be served in the exhibition area, so that you can take advantage of the wonderful things that are there to see. I'm going to hand over to Kira, who's going to talk to you about dress sheets and other things.
Good morning. For those of you that have lost luggage or managed to put on some weight over this last 2 days, we have a service of a suit hire, especially for the formal closing dinner. So what needs to happen is that during tea time or coffee break or lunchtime, go to the information desk here at registration, leave your name with them, and a shuttle will be provided at 17:30, that's 5:30 this evening, to take you to the suit hire place so you can get fitted out to new measurements. And obviously they will deliver the suit to your hotel after that too. The second thing is that for those of you that's using the CTICC parking, there's an official at the entrance of the exhibition. And if you go see that official before 12 today, you can get a discounted fee for 40 Rand for the day instead of paying the normal 70 Rand. So that's all from my side. Enjoy the session. And over to you, Duncan. Thanks.
Thank you, Kieran. Well, Mr. President, Council members, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this, the first technical session of the 17th conference. And as you see from your programs, this session focuses on marine accidents and near misses. This session will consist of 5 presentations looking at examples of accidents, their causes and the lessons learned, together with the technological advances that aim to reduce the number of such accidents and near misses. Each presentation from my wonderful, good-looking panel will be of 15 minutes each, and there will be an opportunity of about 15 minutes at the end of this first session for questions before we break for coffee. Question forms have been handed to you, and there will be microphones in the auditorium to be handed to anybody wishing to ask a question. Please wait until you receive the microphone before asking, so that we can hear you. And if you don't get a chance to ask your question, do fill it in on the question sheet and hand it in. It will be processed on the website, etc. in due course. I will do my best to encourage my speakers to respond to all questions, but if you can't get the right result or get the full response, please chase it up afterwards. Right, I'd better go and sit down and prepare for the first speaker.
So we'll start with Jorge Arroyo from the US Coast Guard, who is a analyst. Jorge is a 24-year veteran of the US Coast Guard, the first 13 years of which he served as a commissioned military officer with duties involving most aspects of US Coast Guard operation. Particularly specialised in vessel traffic services and regulations, and he became a regulatory project officer at the AIS and Waterways Management Office in Washington, D.C. A strong supporter of IARC committee work, he's been involved in the AIS committee and the ENAV committee for many, many years. Most of you know him. His specialised bent is the legal aspects of the regulatory side, and he's going to talk to us about the COSCO Busan incident. Jorge.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good morning, everyone. Pleasure to be with you here this morning to kick off the morning session, although I would have preferred to probably do it later in the day. But so it is. This morning I'm going to talk to you about the COSCO Busan collision, which happened in San Francisco Harbor. Just give you a quick synopsis of what happened there, a little bit about the role of the VTS and the casualty, the findings of our National Transportation Safety Board and their recommendations, and then more importantly, talk about the role of digital information and digital navigation in the process of the investigation and the potential issues that you might encounter now from collisions and elisions and things of this matter and this brave new world of digital navigation. So what happened? On the morning of November 7th in 2007, the Casca Busan was leaving Oakland on its way back to South Korea, going through San Francisco Bay, intending to transit through the Delta Echo span of the Oakland Bay Bridge. Low visibility, less than 1 nautical mile, which is not completely unusual in San Francisco. As they departed and started making their way out towards sea, there was a little bit of concern at the VTS, and there was some communications between the VTS and the ship on exactly what their intentions were, because it did not appear that they were going to make it through the Delta Echo span. And at that time, the pilot communicated with the VTS that that was their intent, and they tried to do that, but in doing so, they missed and hit the fender of the bridge, which caused the collision and had some severe consequences. As a result of striking the bridge, over 53,000 gallons of fuel oil were released into the bay, contaminating about 26 miles of shoreline, killing thousands of birds of numerous species. Total monetary damages of $2 million of damage to the ship, $1.5 million of damage to the bridge, and over $70 million of environmental cleanup costs that took place because of this unfortunate incident. Here you have a picture of the Bay Bridge and the Delta span and the fendering system there, which is where the ship had collided with. And there is the 200 plus foot gash that was produced in the touching of the fender, as it was known to be called during the investigation of the event. Here's a track line of the VTS from the VTS's perspective of what happened and the trajectory of the vessel as it made its way outbound and touched the span, and then was directed to come about and go to anchor so we could investigate and start containment processes on the vessel itself as the fuel oil is being spilled out into the bay. Just some other little tidbits. The role of ATON was not that significant in this particular collision. There was a Raycon on the bridge that was clearly visible that would assist the master or the pilot in being able to identify where their bridge span was. And we'll see maybe a little bit of that here through here, but we'll give you a general idea of he was going on a straight track line going out, and then, excuse me, supposedly going through here, there was some problems regarding situational awareness in which when the VTS got engaged with communications with the pilot on board, and unfortunately was not able to correct course to clear the span of the bridge. This was the VTS picture of the event post-collision. As you can see, you can't see too well here, but you can see the track line there as you can go, as he's making his diverting course to make it through this bridge span. And all these track lines are going to be important here as I continue on with my presentation. Our National Transportation Safety Board did an investigation, as did a whole host of other entities, including us, the U.S. Coast Guard, the Pilot Association, and the American Pilots. Everybody's done some type of investigation into this particular incident. But I'm just going to go ahead and key in on what our National Transportation Safety Board determined to be the probable causes of the collision. They first highlighted some cognitive performance issues regarding the pilot who was on board the vessel, directing the movement of the vessel. This particular pilot had numerous medical conditions, and he was taking numerous types of different medications, many of which have the ability to impair cognitive skills. So that was one of the unfortunate causal factors in this particular thing. As in most accidents and most collisions on board ships, communication is always usually somewhere to be put into the blame path of any type of casualty, and that was found in this particular instance too, and that there was not a good effective communication exchange between the pilot and the master of the vessel prior to departing. And then there was ineffective management of the master and the pilot and the performance of the vessel's progress as they were making their way outbound. Some other contributory causes